Ooh, looking rough. Hey, Ava, how you doing? Doing good, doing good. Happy holidays to you. Almost need some more sawdust over here. I'm really trying to not get this on me, guys, because it's been in a lye solution for a couple of days. I'm gonna show you how that helps, and I already got a bunch on my leg, so hopefully that doesn't burn me. Chemical burns, nothing to play with here. This one here, I want to show you what this is bucking. You can see how it's turned to a jelly solution here almost, or it's turned the skin into kind of jelly. It's also thickened it, and I want to show you how much. I've heard it can thicken it as much as like 30%. You can see the hide is pretty thick. Oh, I got dogs out here now. You see how thick that is there? We want to get the rest of this hair off of here though. Um, I use lye to buck with. Summer, don't get too curious. Summer, please don't. Please don't. Summer, please don't. Are you? Does mom know you're out here? I don't think she does. This stuff on the neck here, the nape of the neck, real hard to get off. Got my new scraping tool. I'll probably flesh these other ones first because this one's almost done. This is tricky. I want to lean my body against the beam, but I don't want to get any of this nastiness on me. Yeah, this is a new scraping tool that Heather's sister got me for the holidays, for Christmas. Appreciate, shout out Holly. Thank you, Holly. Has a sharp edge on it and a flat, kind of a dull edge. I really should be fleshing the non-grain side here, but I got to get the hair off. That was the whole purpose of this bucking process. Yeah, it's coming off now. I want to shrink this hide. Like I want to take this hide and cut it into several pieces. Well, not several pieces. Well, y'all see how that takes the hair off? That's because the lye got in there and worked those fibers, the collagen fibers. I eyeballed my lye formula because the first time it didn't work. What I'm going to do is scrape these hides, Ava, and then I would like to shampoo my raccoon hides. I have a new raccoon that came to the family here. It could be the famous raccoon from Ashland because that's where I caught it. The one that broke into the liquor store. You wouldn't know it. It was a really strong one. Wow, this stuff comes out so I hate to pull it out this way, but if it's coming out that way, I don't mind doing it. Generally, you want to go with the grain to take this hair out, but it's difficult on the neck here. Hopefully, are y'all getting feedback? No? Y'all see the dogs? Hope everybody had a great Christmas and Hanukkah and whatever other holidays you may celebrate. I know everyone's prepared to have an awesome New Year. Rather than get this stuff sloppy all over me, get lye water all over my bare legs and stuff. Since it's so hot today, I'm wearing shorts. It's like over 70 up here. So I might pull some of this out. I know that's probably not orthodox, but rather than getting this pretty caustic water on my legs, I think I might actually pull it this a little bit. This was real stubborn the other day. It's coming out in clumps. Maybe if I put it downward on the beam a little bit. I tried to wash these hides to neutralize them a bit, but I'm sure they still have quite a bit of caustic water in them. You want to be pushing with this tool. Sorry if I'm showing y'all how to use it wrong. Luke, welcome, welcome. From Dublin. Dublin. A Dublin man. Speaking of the Irish, there is a great book by the Irish. There's only one copy of a very famous book on tanning, and I believe it is in the Irish National Library. And it was made by the Irish Tanning Society. It's of a French author, though, who went around and documented it painstakingly multiple tanning processes throughout Europe and the old world, Africa, Asia. And he documented painstakingly this process of tanning hides. My thing about this beam is I want it a little higher. I might make that. I've got another cedar beam. I might make into a. I might put that on top of this actually. Did I miss something? The neck skin is thicker. I don't know that the neck fur is thicker, but the neck skin is definitely thicker, and I bet it is an adaptation. It could. That sounds like we don't know, but it sounds like it could be an adaptation. Seems like it could be an adaptation against bugs because they can't reach back there and swat at them. I've got that one hide in the tannins inside, and that one has bumps on the neck. Right, it's the only one I have that has bumps on the neck. I know that hides are attacked by insects, and while they're on the deer, they're attacked constantly. Oh, it's okay. This is working. Fly works. Just be careful if you are doing this at home that you don't make too caustic of a solution and end up harming yourself. It definitely loosens the hair. You can see I'm able to pull it out now, which I don't recommend. You really should scrape it out. It messes up the pores. But I'm afraid I'm gonna not get it up here at the top. I have not figured out a way to do edges very well. Maybe a way that I haven't figured out yet. But you're generally not supposed to pull these tools. You're supposed to push them. Hey, welcome, Mike. I've got 3 or 4 hides here that have been in bucking solution. Man, y'all know I'm not going to play around when I do stuff. When I do it, I'm going to do it for real. I got a tanning station set up here. It's not like I dabbled and left it on the shelf. You know, that's Calvin, Crazy Cal, as I'm apparently called. Yeah, what's chaotic about grabbing roadkill off the street and turning it into leather? Teaching was like the opposite job that you would actually pick for me. The stability of it. I don't think anything's broken. Did someone say something was broken? Uh, this is on the edge, so this stuff is all with stubborn, stingy hair here. And I don't want to tear the hide. I've already done some damage to the grain on this. I think it's going to take some time in the tannins to repair it to a certain extent. You're not getting the feedback, are you? Yeah, Mike definitely double streams. So a couple other people do too. I think maybe Smoke does that. Uh, it's a strategy. Yeah, like you got to whenever you enter some sort of business or venture, you got to have like know who you are and what your strategy is. And I think for me, my strategy is uncompromisingly doing Calvin. And yeah, yeah. It's like I love woodwork, love tanning, love crafting. I'm about to learn some, like Ricker was talking about, learn some leather work. This isn't leather work. This is tanning. It's the equivalent of cutting trees down for use, right? If you're a lumberjack or a sawyer, you're preparing wood for use. Today or on this? Not very long. But it has been intensive and not very cursory, if I may say so. I've spent pretty much 24 hours doing this for 2 months now. Like 18-hour days, learning it, absorbing the information. Shout out Stephen at home because Stephen is the only resource really online for this. So I appreciate Stephen and him being there for this, because if he wasn't there with this information, there would be no one else currently alive who shares this information. So shout out to Stephen. Stay out of there, Toby. You'll get sick. Yeah, only tanning for 2 months. And I've hunted before that, and I've dealt with animals, but otherwise it wouldn't have been comfortable for me. You know, uh, this edge stuff is really tricky. It may be trimmed off, I think, some. Though this is neck, and I really would like to keep that neck leather as much as possible. The bellies I don't care about that much. This white stuff on the belly, that's going to be thin skin and not very usable. So I don't really care even if it keeps hair on it, but I'm not going to put it into my tanning with the hair on it. It'll contaminate my tanning bath. All of this stuff is stuff I learned. I'll put a fully haired one out here and do that next. This is one I was working on yesterday too, or day before yesterday. Then I put them in this lye bucking solution for 2 days. And what I want to show again is how thick the lye really worked into the grain, almost like turned some into soap. I'm trying to find a spot where you can see how thick it is now. Like it's real thick. Uh, the lye actually widened the thickness of the skin. Pretty interesting. Thanks. Yeah. I want to make sure everybody sees what I'm talking about here. Generally, they say don't do this, so do as I say and not as I do. Oh, good. I thought Luke already had a channel. I had quite a bit of interaction on some of those posts. I mean, you have a channel. It's just you don't make content on right now as a viewer's channel, right? So your channel can convert to a. I think my channel was a viewer's channel before I made video. So the lye gets in there and breaks those fibers apart, works its way in those fibers, and allows the hair to slip out. There's other ways of doing it too, which are a little grosser. Sweating the hides. If it's warm enough, you can put them out, stack them into a stack, and let them putrefy, and that'll loosen the hair. Yeah, so that putrefaction is a way that they actually loosen hair on hides. Well, here on Dad's Workshop, though, we do stuff all the time. We're doing stuff. That's what we're always doing. We're trying to not. I mean, there are times we chill, sit back, and you know, BS. But most of the time, this is like active learning here. What you're seeing is me being taught many courses, basically by guys online. Like again, Stephen Edholm. Shout out Stephen if you're out there, man. Appreciate your content, even if I leave some sometimes lukewarm comments on there because I'm frustrated. Steven has content, and sometimes he'll say something like "get a pumice rock," or he'll say "get a pumice stone," but not like this and not like this. And I'll be like, "So where do I obtain these pumice stones? You know, where do I obtain this hydrolyzed lime?" Went to 5 different hardware stores the other day and couldn't find it. Ooh, that's coming off nice. Hydrolyzed lime would create a bucking bath for your hides. Let's see, I took some grain off there. I don't want to do that. You need some sort of alkali bath to remove the hair the quick way, like in a couple days. Unless you've got warm temperatures and it's real funky, in which case you're already dealing with a pretty strong smell. You know, not the most pleasant thing to deal with. Now it feels nice with that fan going. Windy out there, yeah. Is my angle good and everything? Ava Rose said, "Nice to meet you. Sorry, I'm currently cooking. Just got a break, waiting for water to boil." Shout out to all the friends of the program and members, Mike, anyone else who's in the chat right now. Appreciate you being here. What? Yeah, she actually is getting deer hair thrown all over her over here. A lot of times these edges, you trim these off, you know, because the hide's not that usable here. It's like very thin. See, look at that. I'm cutting. See, I'm ripping the grain there. That's how you know I'm a beginner. Experienced buckskin maker, which is what I'm going to make out of these, is some soft buckskin. There's several books on buckskin making. The one I'm getting, I have either ordered it or I've got it in my cart, is Blue Mountain Buckskin. Real interesting. But what I want to learn how to do is kind of dry, wet scrape hides and So if I get Steven on here one of these days, you know, if he ever watches the program and decides to pop in, he can trash my hides. I'll accept that, you know. Morning, Tom. Appreciate you being here. Plywood. Plywood. I'm working on some hides that I had in a lye water bath, and I'm dehairing them right now, bucking them. I have narrowed down what I think the tanning process is basically down to like 6 B's, and I have them written down somewhere. Don't quote me on that. I have them written down somewhere, but it's like 6 B's, and it starts with what do you call it? First thing you got to do is you got to take the deer down or whatever. Then you got to skin the deer, and then you got like bucking, baiting, brining, barking. This is how I remembered it, and then braining. That's what I think is the best way to make like medium versatile leather. Because what I'm noticing is you can end up with a medium versatile leather, structural / garment leather if you do some in between stuff. Like do some bark tanning and some brain tanning. Shout out to Heather too, my right hand, for always helping me get ready and being my moral support. I was almost not going to be able to go today. I'm glad I got out here. It feels good to be going live again. I'm happy to be here. Thank you everybody for being here. This tool can be used two-handed too. It often is. This side's almost like cleaned off. This is not too bad. I don't want to be using the sharp side really, although I am here. I don't really need that. Just bulldoze this stuff off. Oh, that's going to be messy now. It's kind of jelly-like. It's very gelatinous because it's been the grain and the hide have been like worked by the lye. So the lie's like in there. And so it's even harder to keep on the beam. Y'all see what kind of work goes into this though. It's no joke. Hit that like button, folks. Thanks for being here. I'm Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. Right now, we are bucking hides, which means removing the hairs from deer skin. All right, this is roadkill. So nothing you need to worry about. No animals were harmed. Not by us, at least. I want y'all to see how the hair comes off in this scenario, which is real easy. You know, it's not always like that. Got to follow instructions somewhat. I'm going to move the camera down just a little so you can kind of see the working of the hair, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to mess with things too much. Like I said, this is deer skin. I couldn't tell you if this is a buck or a doe here. I put them in there. I can't remember. You know, once I put them in and I start taking the hair off, I got to look at them individually to tell you which each was. I do definitely appreciate each animal, sit there with each animal and look at it. appreciate the differences that it has from the next one, you know. But this one I think was a doe, if I'm guessing at it. Close to the house, I think I found this one. I am working on a long form video on how I think you can home tan effectively without reading 50 books. Kind of synthesize what I've learned from Steven and from the resources he showed on his YouTube channel. He seems to be the foremost authority on this that's around now. His name is Steven Edholm. I might drop a link in there so folks who are interested can check out his content. He runs a channel called Skill Cult out of Northern California. And just to give Steven the credit he deserves for kind of coaching me through this, that unknowingly coaching me through this process, though sometimes very, very specific information. I do like that. Sorry, did I not answer Luke's question? What did Luke say here? That's right. Yeah. You can, the craft of taking the hides and turning them into leather and soft buckskin and things that are kind of lost arts now. Even in Steven's concepts, he said that some of the stuff he doesn't even know, how to bait and puer hides, which is use dung, animal dung, to soften hides up so that they're even better leather. Like ladies' garments in the old days, ladies' leather that would have fallen over their arms would have been goat and sheepskins that were baited with dung, you know, animal feces, before they were put into their tannin solution. So there's a lot of secrets and some kind of yuck factor to the sausage being made that may not even be quite known outside of the tanning guilds in North Africa and stuff. So what I'm doing now is called baiting. No, excuse me, not baiting, bucking. Bucking, all these B words. Bucking, I'm bucking the hair off of this hide to prepare it for the next step of the tanning process. You see it's kind of gelatinous. This is my beam. It's made out of black walnut. It's a black walnut tree that I cut down years ago and got nailed by a bunch of beetles. A bunch of wood-boring beetles ate the mess out of it, so I just used it for a beam. I used to tell the kids in school, when you have inspiration, you follow it, follow that inspiration, you know, and take it where it wants to lead you. That's how humans have become great at things, you know, is following that inspiration. Wanting to learn these things can just come really organically. Like I was on an exercise run a couple months ago and came across a deer that was dying, and that was what started this journey. Mike knows. I texted him right away. See, I don't want to break that grain like that, so I'd rather pull this out, even though that's not recommended. This hair right here is coming out like this. So look, it's tough and it's stingy, but what I did a minute ago was I tore the grain. And unless I'm making split top, like, or if I'm making what Steven refers to as like buckskin, brain tan buckskin, where he actually splits the whole grain off. So this skin on the top here, the skin that's under the hair is called the grain. And it's a membrane, stretches all the way over the deer. If you break that open, it's like suede or nubuck. No. I'm going to take these with me as I venture out of town, and I will work on them as well where I go. Yeah, the neck, you can see the thickness of the neck here too. And I don't know if I'll hold it up the cam again, but this stuff's coming out a lot easier now. So that basically, other than these edges now, you see that the hair is bucked off. I'm going to flip it over and scrape the flesh side. You can see there's a lot to be done on that side there. Ava said, I wasn't finished typing. Hit send on accident. Ava, you're fine. You don't worry. We're not taking attendance. We only do that for Mike and them. See, I don't want to do that. Y'all see that? I got to get used to this tool. It's different than my draw knife, which was what I need to stay up here, right, and work the hide up here. This hide's going to be kind of ruined, unfortunately. And these all get washed because you got to get all this excess hair off before you put them in stuff anyways. The next stage for these is the brining stage, where they go into a vinegar pickling bath. That opens up those pores even more, opens up that grain. And then after that, they get neutralized and they go into tannins. Or you can start the process of braining them, put them into a fat liquor, brain liquor, and start that process too. You can let them sit there for a long time in that stuff and just moisturize. But then you got to smoke them after that. See how I slipped like right there? That actually tears stuff. You don't want to really do that. This is called scudding. I'm going to use the dull side for a second. All the schmutz on the flesh side we don't want on there, right? Don't eat. Summer is really obsessed with this. Almost as if it's going to storm. It was sunny a little while ago. Now it's acting like it's going to storm. You want to just get used to pushing this thing, probably two-handed. Actually, I remember this deer. This is the one that had eaten corn right before it got hit. Not pleasant. Shout out everybody. Make sure you do like this. Right now I'm scudding a hide that just came out of a bucking solution. This is leather tanning right here. Welcome to Dad's Workshop. My name is Calvin. Shout out for Mike this morning. Texted Mike this morning with my the propane tank the neighbor had. Gotta bother folks. So I appreciate you, Mike, being responsive. Ooh, look at this yuck stuff right here. So we have a lot of fatty tissue here. This has got to go. I'm going to flip this hide here. One of the things that lye or the lime solution you use, and someone said, one of the things Steven says is, it's not lye, it's potassium hydroxide. Well, potassium hydroxide is lye, and calcium hydroxide, which is lime. If it's quick lime, it's also lye. So I don't want to hear this stuff about how it's not lye. It's the same basically chemically. It's in the same alkali family. I mean, I'm not a chemist, but I also know sometimes you have to take everything you hear with a grain of salt. So yeah, wood ashes are a way that people learn how to do this, but nobody really does this with wood ashes. They use some sort of quick lime, builder's lime. Now, if I had an X-Acto knife handy right now, I'd probably cut this whole part of the hide off. What I used was sodium hydroxide, traditional lye, and I just diluted it. Obviously, you all know I make soap around here. If you know me, you know we make soap here. So I have lye on hand. I do know how to make it if I need to. So if we're talking about 100% bushcrafting, I do know how to make lye. I also know how to make calcium hydroxide from the shells if I need to. So the key is like, do I need to do that? Do I need to be pure to what do you call it? What do you call people who don't like technology at all? Huddites, right? A Luddite. I'm not a Luddite. I don't need to make my own lye. I like things traditional, but I'm not going to sit here and wow, that should really be going right now. If I have to, I'll make it. I told my dad this the other day. He said, "So how do you make that yourself?" I said, "Ashes." But I don't have to because I got a 50-pound bucket of lye. Why would I go make my own? Why would I go get builder's lime? I tried. After calling the 5 hardware stores, I was like, I'm going to do this myself. I'll just use lye. Calcium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, uh, sodium hydroxide. They're all basically the same thing. Caustic agents, you know. Be careful with all of them. Right here, this fat that's clinging here, it's the same spot. It's on the belly, right around where this hair is clinging on. So that must have just not got bathed as much. But when this sits and ferments a little bit, because I'm gonna let it putrefy a little bit with the other hides, it'll allow that hair to come out. Like it's slipping pretty well now. Put this one aside for a minute. Get another one out. I want to show you on this hide how much thicker it is than, I wish I had a comparative side by side here, because I can feel the thickness difference after it went through the bucking bath, right? There's a thickness difference in this hide. Now, there's some nasty spots on here. We're going to deal with that as it comes. Not going to lie about the lye. Yeah, so the green spot was where it putrefied, where the guts kind of spilled in. But all that goes away, Ava, once it starts tanning. And I keep getting this stuff on my legs. I got to be real careful because it's basically lye water. Yeah, sometimes I get these hides and they've already done some of that. Like they've sat in the, y'all see how easy that comes off? Look at that. That's the way it should be. Now, Mike says you can use this hair as pillow filling. You can also put it in your compost. It'll aerate your compost. Sometimes mammal hair will keep other mammals away. So it's possible if you use this hair that deer that eat your plants will kind of stay away from your stuff. So if you're a gardener, organic gardener, or you have gardening that you do, the hair is probably not a bad thing to keep. Put it into like some pantyhose and hang it up in your strawberry patch or something to keep those animal smells, will keep some other animals away. Yes, it's got some funky coloration, but I'm not worried about that because that'll get cured by the tanning process. It won't cause a problem. Yeah, maybe should have wore pants, but it's too hot. I'm going to experiment with puering or baiting hides because I hear that's one of the secrets, and it's kind of about timing. And luckily, I have a lot of time to mess with stuff like that. Sour milk, feces. That's two of the ways that it's done. It may be that the lye that I used on this was too strong, but I'm going to go forward with all these hides. So it's definitely taking this stuff off, no problem. Y'all can see the hair shedding. This is bucking, right? And the more evenly it sits in the bucking solution, the caustic solution, the more evenly the hair is going to come out, right? Very, very hard work. Very hard work, this stuff. And you just bulldoze this mess off, man. That's what you got to do. I think my beam needs to be taller. So that's going to be one of the things I do in the next couple weeks is improve, make a taller, larger beam. This will be kind of my uh, portable beam. I want it to sit flat here so I can feel there's some wrinkles in it. It may be that the lye like worked, like did some things to the hide. Like here, it feels different. So I'm gonna find out. My theory is that you can use lye. We'll see if that abstract theory plays out. Definitely looks discolored somewhat, but I'm not really worried about that or scared about that. Collagen's pretty tough. It'll probably be able to be, pulled out of that state. For Christmas, I saw a possum on the street getting eaten by vultures. I went out on my run today. The hide was laying out there. Nothing wrong with it at all. I didn't take it, but you could take it and turn it into decent leather. It just shows you collagen is really tough. It can handle a lot. This looks like a grease burn right here. So there was an area of fat I left on when I cleaned this or when I dressed the deer. Looks a little gross now. Hopefully you can work your magic. Ava says, yeah, it looks gross. It doesn't smell too bad. It doesn't smell awesome, but it doesn't smell too bad. There's some gross factor to this. It's not doing fur. That's true. Even fur has some nastiness to it. I could tell y'all what I told Miss Heather this morning about one of the furs I got in my room that I've been working on for a while. Once it goes in those tannins, man, they start correcting all of that stuff. It's like they're meant to be there. You know, they're meant to do that. I have one spot right there being stubborn. This must have been a part that was sticking out of the lye water. Promise you, leave any hair in when you put it in the tannins. Where the hairs in the follicles is not going to tan the same way. You're going to see discoloration there. You see, I kind of pulled the grain out there. Holes in the leather, not the biggest deal, really. I see them in a lot of people's hides, even in the professionals. Sometimes they end up with holes in their hides too. Can't be a work shy person and do this kind of stuff, dude. That's coming off nice. Exactly like I wanted to. So this is a stubborn area right here. Must have been sticking out of the water. Kind of an object lesson in making sure that you dunk your hide in your and agitate it. What we got here, Kevin? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this stuff around here. Kevin with the $5 super chat. Hit that like button. Love that. Appreciate you. Like it also. $5 super chat. Kevin. Appreciate you, man. So y'all can see this is educational right here. This spot right here, this right here, it's not loose enough. And that's because that must have been sticking out of my bucking bath, right? That I put this in, which I use sodium hydroxide. Food grade sodium hydroxide, not like drain cleaner. Hey, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. New friend of the program, Kevin Freeman. Thanks for that $10 super chat. Love that. And I like it too. Thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. Definitely tap that like button. Shout out, Kevin. Appreciate the gifts. This keeps us going on this channel so we can do this educational content. What we're doing here is called bucking. These have been in an alkali solution for a couple days. We're trying to remove the hair here so that it can go into the next phase of the tanning solution, the net tanning process. I don't want to be going over bumps because then you get tears in your grain, right? So you want to make sure you're not running over bumps. Really, you want to be doing all your work here. This is generally what you want to do, but I'm a little lazy. Thanks again to Kevin for those gifts. Hey, Kevin again. Heck yeah, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Might have to send Kevin a care package or something. We appreciate our people here, Kevin. Oh, looks. Yep. Awesome, Kevin. Appreciate you, man. Right here, we got stubborn hair. So there's two options. I can force it out by pulling it, or I can buck it longer. And I think I'm going to let it putrefy a little, not to be gross, but there is some value to that putrefaction. It's already a little putrefied anyways, as Ava was pointing out. It's going to be fine leather, no problem. All you got to do is just get this hair out and get it to the next stage, which is brining for me, right? This is all stubborn right here. This belly hair here. I had to do this with my other hide also. It had to go back in. Yeah, so all this stuff right here is more stubborn. This is coming off though. Let me try this side here. Appreciate Kevin Freeman and those super chats. That's how we keep our channel going, is donations. So very much appreciate those and the likes from everybody today. We are currently working on a comprehensive tanning video that involves my experiences, roadkill, also how to tan using multiple disciplines, or how I learned what I think you can do, that I synthesized from Stephen Edholm and some of the other tanning experts that are out there now. This is just me. Stephen wants this, as much as he might hate my channel. One of the things he wants is for people to experiment with stuff and figure things out. This is what he professes on his channel. So if I ever get Stephen on here, and I know he'll probably hate some of my hides, but he has to understand my mentality is just like his. It is just to figure out the art, you know, understand how to get a certain texture, how to get a certain quality, how to use the ancient techniques to your advantage, and then not when to not do that, when to not need the ancient stuff and just do things the easy way, you know. So this stuff's not loose enough to go yet, and I'm not going to force it. It'll probably go when I get it up. When it sits in there for a little while, it kind of gets nasty. The enzymes in there will start to work those hairs out. I could also put it in another lye lime bath. Hey, Kevin. Thank you for becoming a member, new member, Kevin Freeman. Appreciate you, man. Love that. God. Kevin made my day, man. Glad I came on here and did a lot, went live. Also, appreciate Ava, too. Also handling the chat, and also my right hand, Miss Heather. Saw Mike in the chat today. Saw Plywood. Shout out to all those folks. But Kevin, you're the star of the day, buddy. Appreciate you. This is a basic bucking I'm doing today with these. I think this is coming off, so I'm going to go after this. This diagonal route, I hear it works real well. Kind of moving from a, I can see it's dry right there. Now, if I put this in a brine solution too early, shout out again to Kevin for becoming a member. Kevin Freeman, appreciate you, man. Joining the family, the family of joiners here, man. So there's some spots here that I think held out of the bucking solution. Right here, here, some of these over here, it's not very loose. That's coming out, so I'll go after that. I want to get all the hair off I can, and then I'm gonna put it back with those other hides, and we'll continue this process of trying to get the hair out. I want all the hair out, or as much of the hair out as possible before I start tanning it. I might even leave it in a brine for 3 or 4 days. A brine will loosen hair up as well. Feeling a little bit tingly on my legs. Yep, that's about all that one can be done for now. So we're gonna put that one back in the I have a tote with these things in them. Pulling the hair backward against the grain. The problem with that is that it pulls up the skin, kind of does some damage to the skin. So don't do that. I don't recommend that. All right, work one more skin a little bit. This one's funky. Woo! Whoa! Oh, sorry, camera. We're still pointed at the right thing. All right, good. Appreciate everybody being here. Super chats from Kevin. Shout out Kevin and a new member also. Let me get over here and work on this hide a little bit. I wanted to come and do a live stream today because I don't know, with the holidays and stuff, I like to take a break. Gagey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, this is a deer hide. All of these are deer hides. This is a buck, I believe. This is a large hide here. Let's see how well this comes off. This one's more stubborn, I think. Nah, that's not too bad. That's the idea of the bucking process, for the alkalis to open up the fibers and allow us to remove the hair. What I'm learning now is that this may be more of a process than I thought. Like you gotta put it through a couple times to get everything, at least at my level of skill. Definitely discoloration. I'm seeing maybe the lye does a little bit of that. Not loving that, but we'll work around that. I think that'll go away. Some of the putrefied hides have all kinds of discoloration. So if you can tan a putrefied hide, then you should be able to tan a hide that's got some of this. Basic discoloration is what it looks like. From where chemistry penetrated and then other places where it didn't. Looks like. Hey, Gagey, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much. We appreciate all gifts, great and small. This is called bucking. This is a buck, so it's bucking a buck. I think that my personal opinion is that the best way to do this is not support the livestock industry by doing it. You know, there's ways to like collect roadkill and use wild animals for this, and you don't have to like. I think some of the cowhide is like it's kind of arrogant, like to say, well, you can't do this with deer hide. You can only do this with pig hide and cowhide and buffalo hide. Well, you know what? Some people don't have that available. You know, what they got available is deer hide and other small animal hides. So deer is a versatile hide. You can get super soft stuff with it, and I've gotten actually pretty hard leather. And I know the guy I mentioned a little while ago. He doesn't believe that deer can make that kind of structural belt leather that well. But my experience is that my first hide made out of a young doe, that is absolutely good for structural leather. I have a hard time making it soft, as a matter of fact. So, pull it up the beam. Not pleasant, you know. I get it. Like this is part of the leather. That if you got fine leather for Christmas, you know, I mean real leather, not chrome leather. This would be the process. And since I know these edges are stubborn, I'm gonna put these hides in. I might even like tie dye them, like tie the middle with rubber bands, and so that the edges get in there. Because what's not getting the solution is these edges. Could be the lye is eating away at the fiber here. That's possible. So we're learning, you know. Give me them 2 more likes. We're not going to stick around too much longer today. I just wanted to show y'all what I'm doing with these hides. I got 3 hides in this barrel here, or in this tub that I'm bucking right now. And my legs are getting a little on the burning side. I want to make sure I don't give myself chemical burns here. Process of tanning leather is dangerous to people who do it kind of throughout. Obviously, viewer discretion is always advised for all of this stuff, and always be careful what you do at home. Unless you know what you're doing, be careful trying this stuff at home. One little spot here, and it's stubborn. I'm gonna leave that in there and not pull on it. You don't want wrinkles on your beam. Looks like that's a dry spot there. All right, I think I'm gonna find that as a stopping point right there, folks. Thanks for the 60 likes, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Calvin. This is Dad's Workshop. What we're doing right now is bucking deer hides, something a lot of people might be doing right now. I love you all. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry belated Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever holiday you may celebrate, happy that. Appreciate everybody being here. My name is Calvin again. Please do subscribe to Dad's Workshop. Big shout out to Kevin for the donations and the membership. And thanks again for being here. We'll be back in the new year. And it'll be, I believe, on January 4th. Ava said, when's your next stream? I say January 4th, I believe. So make sure you check out our other videos. I'll be working on another one for you. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Appreciate you. Do the next right thing.